so that by the time the 1960 tsunami, most folks were out of this area, and after the 1960 tsunami, no one was allowed to rebuild in this area to create this green buffer zone called Images of America, Hilo, and it shows this area from this time frame. So buildings would have run all the way to the water's edge. We are where the railroad was. There would have been more buildings, and Kamehameha Avenue was your main thoroughfare through town. And you can see how densely compacted this area is. That is how densely compacted that whole area we just drove through. So you can just imagine the loss of life and property during that 1946 tsunami. It is the highest wave height for that year's tsunami. So you can see how high 1960 was, and if I'm not mistaken, 35 feet was the largest wave that came in during the 1960 tsunami. Yeah. 1960, not so much. After the 1946 tsunami, they put sensors in the ocean. So loss of life that happened in the 1960 tsunami was primarily because people were in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, they thought that the tsunami had passed. Really, it hadn't. And they're the largest and third of a monkey pod I have ever seen. It has a very distinct umbrella-shaped canopy. It's perfectly, 360-degree canopy because there's nothing growing around it to disrupt its growth. Nothing to fall on it, to break a branch. Now, the old Mamalahoa Highway was the original road around the island. So you can really understand why they needed the infrastructure after the railroad closed up, because this is a great scenic drive, but not a very practical road for getting around the island quickly. In fact, what is a 2-hour trip to Kona for us now would have been a 12-hour plus trip for them back during this time frame. So it wasn't like you just jumped in a car and went to Kona like we do now. Now, as we go over all the little bridges heading down to the garden, you are going to see that they all have water and no dry gulters, and that's because we are at the foot of Mauna Kea. So just like the water's looking for the ocean and bubbles up in the bottom of Ice Pond, it goes ahead and leaves Mauna Kea headwaters looking for the ocean, forming all the rivers and streams and waterfalls we have along this side of the island. So from Hi'ilawi all the way down to Rainbow Falls, this side of the island is full of waterfalls. Right here on the left is our original facility. It was an old abandoned church. You would have pulled in there. We would have registered you, loaded you into the vans, and driven you down into the garden. There was an electrical fire on December 18th, 1988. It caused the church to burn down and the facility that we operate from now to be built. But it was good that they did that one, because logistically it's better that we're right across from the garden entrance. So you can see here, this first one, you can see the purple heart, which is the beginning of the banana coming out. Then you can see the long stem where they've been harvested and the green bananas behind. The one right next to it is coming toward the end of its life cycle because the purple heart has fallen off. Now if you look right here, you can see one's just beginning. And so apple bananas are they're delicious. I just got to tell you, I'm so spoiled. I will only eat apple bananas. I will not buy bananas if I can't buy an apple banana. That is how good they are. You get a chance to try some while you're here, you definitely want to try. Now, very quickly, if we look to our left here, this is very typical of low-lying tropical rainforest vegetation. Of course, as we go up the stream, the vegetation does change, but at this elevation, that is very typical. And because we are a low-lying tropical rainforest, there are going to be mosquitoes present. So if you need something, we have 2 options available. We have a DEET towelette that is $1.50, so one-time use for one person. We also have lavender spray. Now, lavender is $10. It is multiple use for multiple people, but for it to work, you have to really douse yourself. You have to smell like lavender. But folks who don't like DEET, we do have the lavender. We also have water available for purchase. It's a $1.50 half-liter bottle or a 1-liter $2 bottle. And the 1-liter bottle is your best buy. Now, both the repellent and the water are available from the cashiers. There's a cashier at the front of the gift shop, and there's a cashier at the back of the gift shop. Both of them will have repellent and water at their stations. Also, make sure you guys' gold sticker is on really well, because that is how my guys are going to know you're part of my group. If you've lost your sticker, no worries, I can get you another one. And what this does is it entitles you to complimentary golf cart rides. The entrance into the garden is a 500-foot walkway with a 100-foot elevation change, so it is quite steep. But if you can walk down, there's a lot to see. I always urge folks to do that. There is seating every 100 feet and there are handrails, so it is possible to be able to go down comfortably. Now at the base is our rain shelter. If you get a moment, stop inside because it has pictures of what the garden looked like when Mr. L first started. If you look to our right, now this is your first look down into the valley and the garden. The peninsula across the way with the V-shaped notch used to have a puka or a hole. It was called Onamea Arch. There was a 1956 earthquake and it caused it to collapse, and that's all that remained. This road is no longer safe for vehicles, so only our golf carts go in and out over there. Full hour and a half. We're getting there about, what, 9? Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. 9:45. Thank you. So we will be heading back 9:45, 10:45, 11:15. So you take your full time. I will not leave until 11:15. Wait at the bottom of the walkway. My guys will see the stickers. They will swing by and they'll pick you up. They'll be going up and down. Don't panic. I will not leave without you. So you wait for the cart if you don't think you want to walk back up. So we're in van number 3. My name is Priscilla and we'll be heading back at 11:15. Anybody have questions? Okay, so we look to our right. The walkway going down is right over here. Right here is the Norm with a little in the little house. That is how you will go ahead and sign up for cart rides if you want to ride them down. It is first come, first served. Sometimes there's a little bit of a wait.
That's cool.
That one there. Tsunami, and then watch it ripple across the Pacific Basin. America Hilo. They have a picture of this whole area full of tsunami debris, and the young building is up above it. So the tsunami debris comes to about the size of the lower roof, and you can still see the young building. Right here on the left, you see this little brown sign. It says Lyman Museum. The Lymans were missionaries. They came in the 1830s. They preserved their home. That's 2 blocks up that way. In the back, in the next block that we just past the Pacific Tsunami Museum, is basically books. If you're looking for books on Hawaii, they have a huge selection of Hawaiian books. One of the best resources for Hawaiian books, maps, things of that sort. Cafe Pesto is a great place for Southern Italian. Right here on the left is the bus station. That's where they pick you up, drop you off. Farmers Market right here.
Is that banyan tree there?
Yes, it is. So we have banyan and then monkey pod. So the water had no place to go. This whole area was underwater. I'm not even joking. It was between 2 and 4 feet of water in this area. Yeah, it was just... And we actually got the original by default. It was lost overboard as they were sailing around the Cape of South Africa. It was later recovered. Then make sure you follow their walking patterns. They will yell at you very loudly if you do not. But yeah, see, there's one little hop on, hop off buses. They're all different types.